Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show. Wanna laugh, Valleycast.
Welcome to the Valleycast. This is a great time.
It's my great time.
We're about to have a really great time, and I can't wait to tell you why. And if you're watching the video version of this podcast, you already know. And actually, if you've read the title of it, you probably know. And if you've seen the tweets and the socials where they're tagged, then you definitely know. So there's no chance you're hearing this and you don't know that our good friend, Sage Ryan, is here.
Oh, hello.
The Sage is here. We got Sage Ryan.
I'm so glad
said no to
Zoom
your
cut him
audio.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I would like that portion to be pulled from his local recording track so I can make it my voicemail.
Yeah. As you
We'll figure it out.
should.
Hi, Sage Ryan.
Hi, hello, friends. It's good to see you.
It's
Good
great
to see you, Sage.
you.
Thank you for being here. How are
Happy
you doing
to.
today?
I'm
You've had
doing
a long day.
wonderful. I have always a long day. All days are long. Time is endlessly suffering.
Tell us about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a morning show this morning. I started by talking about morning gaming news and such. Been going since 6 a.m.
Hey, wait a minute.
hit us-
What is
hit us
this
with
show
some of the
called?
best
And
headlines.
what channel is it on?
Oh my, start with the promo. It's on twitch.tv/Pixel Circus. It is a channel that I started with my friends because I was at a really horrific job that was terrible to me and I was making content that I was excited about, but I didn't
Arby.
make
Cut to
it
a
there
clip.
anymore. So I got to leave a soulless corporation to start nonsense with my friends.
Arby's.
I got to leave Arby's, yes. Very proud of
Let's
that.
cut
And
to
I
a
started
clip.
called Pixel Circus, and we do a show called It's Too Early in the Mornings, where we I mean, look, I call it news, but it's really just whatever I want to talk about that day. Sometimes it's like actually important gaming news, but most of the time it's a weird thing that happened on TikTok that I want to talk about.
Sage, what is the coolest thing you talked about this morning?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, okay. Look, y'all are gonna hear this again because there's somebody made a knockoff of Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard about it.
Let's look at it because you shared something with us. Here, I'll share it with you guys, and then this will be recorded into the episode so that Ryan can add it. We're just doing a
Excellent.
mini version of your show now.
Yeah. It's good to be back. I'd like to welcome Sage Ryan and her show to the program.
All right, so what are we looking at here, Sage?
Okay, so this is a mobile app that was made to rip off Super Smash Brothers and like shamelessly, like literally put in no
that's it.
effort to not touch copyrights. So of course, naturally, it was taken down pretty quickly. But before they could do so, people captured all this lovely footage of the, for some reason, voice lines that they recorded for like all of the characters.
So if
Like,
like any of these, like I could just click this one.
Yeah, like Jigglypuff.
I don't like talking very much.
I admire him. Sephiroth. Treasure box. It's I'm the boss here.
It's time for me to show up. I have something important to tell you in advance. The game is over.
I have something important to tell you in advance.
Jigglypuff goes, "You cannot separate me from sleeping and eating."
It's time to show up. Yep, that's my favorite worst.
Oh, sorry, just kidding. They put it on Kirby, which makes no sense.
Stop correcting me.
Stop correcting me.
All right, that's pretty great.
It's also random.
Wow.
It's like, I hate school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mega Man has another line where he says, "Taste my bullets."
Dude, can I tell you
Whoa.
something?
I mean, that's pretty badass. That's a
yeah.
cool thing to say. I'm gonna say
It's
that.
time
next
for
time.
me to show
How
up.
about you taste my bullet? Actually, it's pretty sexual. I probably won't say that. All right, moving on.
I feel like some of my favorite comedy is when you do stuff like that. When you're like,
Yeah.
like the foods menu. You guys remember the foods menu? Like someone created this like fake. Oh man, if you guys don't know what this is, I would love
do y'all
to
remember
share it with
food?
you. You guys remember what food is? Hang on, I've got a food
Wait,
menu.
turn around, your background disappeared.
I've got a foods menu. It's gonna probably disappear again. Hang on. So I have a foods menu that a SourceFed fan made me years ago, and it's on my fridge because it's just one of the funniest things ever. Hang on, I'll be right back.
I would love to. I would love to see it.
He'll be back. So the story goes is that somebody made that game and it got taken down by Nintendo because Nintendo's like, not on Nintendo's watch, but not Nintendo Game & Watch, which was a character in the actual Smash Brothers. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Nintendo and their anti-copyright stances.
Yeah. Shockingly, Nintendo was not super cool with there being a Dark Mario that says, "Where is your God when you need him?" But like,
Oh my goodness gracious!
I would have thought they'd be super cool with that.
That's wonderful. My
Where is
God.
your God?
Okay, so here's
I don't talk much.
I don't
I've
talk
got something to
much.
say to you later.
I'm going to be about 10 minutes late.
Okay, so here's the food.
Buds.
It's
A journey in food taste from mouth to toilet, traveling the ultimate expanse of Greco-Japan Pan-American dining experience.
So this is something that was on the internet, like pre-Clickhole and pre whatever this is, this Super Smash Brothers thing. Definitely pre that. And then they made a book that you can buy that I also have, but this is the menu that they put online, and someone printed it out for me like an actual menu.
Wow.
You guys got to hear some of the food items.
Please,
Here.
please.
These are some of this is some of the appetizers. Crabbed chicken dunkers. 6 hot dog wieners.
All right.
Cream bags and pepper slippers.
Nope, I don't want them.
Cream bags? No. I'll take
Cheese.
6 hot dog wieners in a cream bag.
Cheese and fish.
Nope.
Nope.
Then there's the devil's meat cup, which is christened with a side of grayed chicken spikes.
Great. All right, that's great.
Okay, how about some of the entrees?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
There's
Oh, yes. I'd love to hear what the special is.
clumps of turkey is what we have.
Oh!
And that's on a bed of heavy tomato scum and served with softened rice poles.
Oh, man.
Here, honey. You know what, honey? I'll order for you, okay?
Oh, please. I've never been before,
Okay.
so I'm a little nervous.
Yes, so
Romantic,
she'll
my
have the shitty chicken.
And for the kids?
The kids. Let's see. How about a couple of crab dorks and oh, you know what? I think little Tommy is gonna love the mammal ribs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my daughter is gluten-free.
Yeah.
Do you have any options for her?
Yeah, we have a secret item with surprise bag.
Oh, man, that's
Oh
great.
man, Crab Dorks is great. I would like to title the episode Crab Dorks.
Crab dorks. Yeah.
Oh, my
Shitty
Anyway.
chicken is also very good.
Crab,
I already
crab
hate
dorks
food.
and a gluten-free surprise.
I know,
already
and none of
hate
that is
food,
appetizing.
And you just made it so much worse.
Yeah, there's also some
Oh,
sweets in
man.
here. You guys want to know what the sweets are? We
You
got
can go for dessert.
a whole mango if you want. There's also a bowl of Norman paste, which is
Oh,
apparently
nice, yeah.
topped with Irish freckles.
This person's good with words.
Oh, and here we
Yeah.
have for the kids, tiny clumps of turkey, boinkies in a hat.
Is tiny clumps of turkey similar to the
Yes,
main
it's just
entree
a
of big
kid's-
clumps
It's
of-
just a kid's
I love
portion.
that. That's great because they don't want
Smaller
full
portions.
portion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm
Steve,
gonna...
are there any drinks?
Oh,
on the
yes.
part?
Oh, yes.
Is there any drinks? On the
Oh, there's
menu?
drinks, my friend. In the flavored wets section. We have 10% soda.
Okay, that's interesting.
We have
Strong.
For the adults, we have a Yankee Poison.
All right. Yep, my southern bones.
We have some fresh ripped juices. We've got a Dalmatian. Oh, the kids might like this. There's a Dalmatian milk fat Arbor Day ale. That's alcohol free.
The kids might love it.
It's out. There's no alcohol in there. And Elliot, if you don't mind, I feel like you're
Yeah.
really gonna like the plain alcohol, the 24 ounce.
Plain rubbing alcohol.
And Sage, if you don't mind, because I love this place and I think I know
Yeah.
you well enough,
Please.
Can we get her the big bitch Sheffel Fitzen?
We'll edit that part out.
Sheffel Fitzen.
Dang, that is Steve. There is a
What a
reason
delight.
it's on your fridge.
I know.
That is some next level. What'd you say? It was a fan gift or something
It's a fan
like that?
gift, yeah.
Very good.
Jesus, I don't
Yeah.
think.
10.
And putting
might
it
be
on the
number
fridge.
one.
It's one of my
Putting it on the
favorites.
fridge is and having it like you are going to order takeout from there if you get hungry. It's a little extra joke on top of it.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Because
Right, you gotta have a game night, so then everyone would be like, "Oh, you want to order in some food?"
Yeah,
there's-
Foods
Yeah.
is so good. It's here in Sherman Oaks. You guys gotta try
Just
it.
pick what you
Yeah,
want.
Steve,
The
will
problem
you
is
do that?
name is
Oh my God.
exactly- that
Please
name
do
is
that.
Exactly something that would be like in LA.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we need to do a video where you do that. We have people in the office. We're gonna we're all getting vaccinated. We're almost done. We're gonna start having like game videos in the office again. We bring a bunch of people over that have never seen that menu, and that's the actual video we're making.
Yeah.
Is you giving them that menu and forcing them all to order their lunch off of it?
Exactly.
Joe, I don't think that you're implying that some of our friends don't watch every episode of the Valleycast.
We'll have to tell
Yeah.
them not to
Assumption.
listen to this one, especially
This one.
because
Just let 'em know.
our
I'll let 'em
special
know.
guest, Sage Ryan, is here. And Sage, I don't want to get too far away into the shenanigans that us boys can slip and slide right into.
Sure.
But I want to talk
opposed
a
to.
little bit more about you, Sage, because
Oh my.
I think we've had you on the show.
I've done this, yeah. But well, I have done it once actually since quarantine, but it was the very beginning of quarantine.
Yeah.
I remember because I was moving,
Yeah.
my entire apartment was empty.
So we talked a lot about your past, and we talked about things that you were in, and how you were a child actor, and
Yeah.
that was awesome. But
sure did.
now I want to talk about.
She seems comfortable.
I want to talk about. Yeah, she loves talking about it, and
love
she
it.
loves. She loves when we get specific about some of the things.
Yeah.
I love
in
to
as a
reminisce. I love entering into a virtual movie night with my friends and having them watch clips of me as a child.
Listen, but you have to understand the thing that we watched in the VR theater with everyone there, including you, was something we all love already. So it wasn't like we were watching it just to like make fun of you or something. We were watching it
Yes.
because we love it and you're in it, which it just makes it that much better.
Which one
We
was
also,
it?
I believe, watched the clip the first time I was on the Valleycast. I'll never be able to escape it.
We just for Sage's sanity, which would be a great line of jewelry if you want to start that.
Sage's
that down.
sanity.
I give you
You
permission.
can write that
Thank
down.
you.
Yeah.
You can write that down, and we'll give you a second if you need to write that down.
Yeah, actually, hold on.
Are you barely hanging on? Sage's sanity.
Sorry, I typed very slow.
I'm about to show up.
Sage's sanity.
See, he's saying, I'm about to show up.
To respect Sage and her uncomfortably visible uncomfortability, we will not talk about her child star days. In fact, what I would like to talk to you about on this show, on this episode, is your current days, your present days. We are kind of into a year and a half almost of quarantine.
Yes.
Shut up.
And we're all getting our vaccinations and stuff like that. And you've been hustling and working very hard this entire time. What have you been up to, and how are you doing during this thing? And how are you doing right now?
You know,
Excellent question.
Steve, you and I set a rule at the very beginning of the pandemic about how we would address asking how each other were doing.
Yeah, but that was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that was like a year ago. This pandemic's gone on
Yeah.
forever.
I'm going to
you know,
pass out.
As far as like living in a Pantera, I feel like as a general, I'm doing pretty well as far as someone can do in a panini. Like
Yeah,
at this point,
just
in
getting them
it,
all out
I'm
there.
very fortunate that like my job is on the internet, so like it didn't affect me that much. Like I miss being in a studio and being with people, but about a month ago, I got to start going back into studio for the first time since the day before lockdown, which has been bananas. I feel hungover every morning after a shoot because I just have so much energy from being around other humans. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited about it that I get home and I'm like gripping the sides of my chair. And by the next morning, I wake up dead. Wake up dead. Yes.
Wake up dead.
Yeah.
Which is also one of the lines from that Mario game. I wake up dead.
Or it could be another jewelry line, Sage. Wake up dead, if you'd like.
I like.
Yeah,
that
I've
one
been
a lot.
seeing.
write
You've been in a number of Smosh stuff things, and I love that because you're fitting in so perfectly with them, and Iffy's all over it and that stuff now too. And it warms my heart to see all my little friends playing together and doing fun things.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So that's where I've been getting to go into studio. We did a huge charity stream at the beginning of this week, which feels like forever ago. We raised $15,000 for the Asian Law Caucus in like
That's
5
awesome!
hours, which was really
Damn.
bananas to support the AAPI community. But it's also like I'm fully vaccinated at this point. A lot of the people that get to be in studio there are.
How's your tail?
Oh, you know what? It's coming in nicely. I was expecting more lizard, and I got more bunny.
Oh, lucky!
Kind of cool.
Aw.
I like it.
That's awesome. That's a good
Great
show.
Wi-Fi reception from
And
the chip
how's
in my
that?
neck.
I want to talk about that
That's
Wi-Fi
that
because
Wi-Fi.
I thought the
Good.
5G people were crazy, but honestly, my 5G signal is stronger than my Ethernet.
And I've
Signal. Signal.
never been gayer. I'm like, woo!
I mean, to be fair, the pandemic also made me like 150% gayer. So
yeah. How could it not?
Living through a Penn and Teller will do that to you.
we spend a lot of time alone in our apartments, and we're just like, man, women though, right?
Oh God, I wanted to agree with you, but like I think I became straighter
Interesting.
because of all of the wonderful people who have started OnlyFans accounts and things like that.
Fair.
And it's wonderful to be graced by your beautiful friends on your timelines. It's like, wow, what a gift. What a gift.
Fair. Absolutely. I also, during my show this morning, definitely was telling a very embarrassing story of, this is going to be a stark contrast from first saying I 100,000% support sex workers, but I was also telling the story of Steve and I in a VR strip club last night.
I'm glad you brought that up.
This sounds interesting.
I'm glad you
Yes,
brought that
I'm
up because I actually
gonna listen.
I have a clip.
No!
I do have a clip.
Which one?
Do you really have a clip?
I do have a clip. Last night, Sage and I and some friends were in VR. We were playing VR chat pretty late at night. And we
Man,
went
VR chat. If you don't know what we're talking about or have never experienced it, it's a world. It's a trip.
It's a world, sirs.
VR chat is kind of like an open world game like you would find in like Second Life.
An
or
OWG.
things of the sort.
It's
But in VR,
it's
you
like
make little avatars.
shitty Ready Player One. It's
Yes.
like not quite
It is
Ready
shitty
Player
Ready
One.
Player One.
It's adult Roblox.
Sounds perfect.
It's Game
People
Boy
make
Ready
custom
Player
worlds.
One.
You can do
Yeah.
anything in it. You can do anything. And one of the worlds was some of the worlds we went to were strip clubs.
Yes.
I've never been to a real strip club.
I
I've
have
only been
also
to a
never
VR
been to a real strip club.
So,
I went to Jumbo's
terrified
Clown
of
Room,
it.
which is not.
Joe and I were in a strip club last week.
Sure.
Real
I hope
one.
you're wearing masks.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's where they were distributing the vaccine.
And
Right.
using
Yeah.
Venmo.
You had to
no
go
real
straight through.
dollars.
Short line.
Money carried.
This is for Pfizer and
Yep.
Moderna, and those are the strippers. And then this line is for Johnson and Johnson, which is actually another stripper. But over here is where you get your.
Here's Johnson and Johnson. Here's Johnson and Johnson, the vaccines.
Yes, here's Johnson and Johnson and Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, I hope your dicks are hard and your ones are ready. We've got Johnson and Johnson coming to the stage.
And they're going to be 70% effective at giving you a boner.
It was like my vaccine stripper name to be Fauci Ouchie.
Yes.
I feel like Fauci Ouchie. I really enjoy when I read that when people say, I got the Fauci Ouchie, it puts a little smile on my face.
Yeah,
it's fun
right?
to say.
Every time.
Okay, so
So what
Sage-
was this like?
Wait, so Sage and I went to a strip club in VR chat, and our avatars. The avatars in VR chat are brain melting.
Yeah.
Like
It's like somebody made these with 3D rendering technology that was coming out in the later stages of like Nintendo 64.
Yeah, but now, dude,
Are they better?
they're better, yeah.
There's a lot of physics they put behind it in strange ways depending on the skin. So the story that I told this morning was that we had found the back office of the strip club, and naturally the response was for me to change my skin to a stout little Mojo Jojo and to scream at Steve, who is dressed up as Kermit in a bikini, to like get
a
out
hot
there.
Kermit.
Yeah, like a really, really
Super
hot
hot Kermit. Like think about Kermit and then think about a really, really hot woman.
Really hot.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
That's kind of...
Oh, don't worry, I'll show you.
15 minutes in to us role playing me being the manager of the strip club and Steve being an underpaid and poorly cared for stripper with an addiction issue, and I was screaming at him to get out there and pay off those tips,
Like literally screaming, like yelling in your home.
It was about 15 minutes into that I remembered that it's midnight and I have a downstairs neighbor. Once again. And the walls, I mean, it's an old building. The walls are paper thin. From what I understand, he can hear everything. And I cannot provide any sort of context
Sage,
or
no.
anything that I said last night.
You have to move.
I think I'm
think you
going
do
to
have
have
to
to
move.
move. Is actually what
You
I'm
have to get out of there.
I think I'm going to have to move.
Yeah, I think you do have to move.
This
now.
is not the first time I've had this issue. It's specifically because like when you have a VR headset on, it's so easy to like forget about your actual surroundings.
Yes.
It is genuinely very immersive, and you're with your friends and you're having a good time, and then you're just like, oh no, I'm in my apartment and that weird thing I just bumped into is my cat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or like you could very easily hurt yourself if you're not careful. It's very important to make sure you set up your boundaries and stuff like that.
Make sure your boundaries are good and all objects are outside of said boundaries. And if they're in said boundaries, make sure that you acknowledge them on the moment-by-moment basis in which you are inside the virtual reality setting.
That's awesome, Joe. That's like, yeah, that's it.
I don't talk much.
Okay, so I don't have the clip of that.
I'm glad.
I'm
Good.
Thrilled. to
I
be honest,
have something a little different, which is I think
haven't seen.
yeah, because you don't even know what clip I have.
No, and I don't know what I look like when doing any of these things
Yeah.
because it's first person. You can't.
He's
see
about to play the
yourself.
clip of you as a child actor. You know that, right?
It's gonna be Tim and Eric again. It's gonna be Tim and Eric
Food
again.
is poison. All the food is poison. All right,
Probably would be better. I think it might at this point be better.
you guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
Y'all
Yeah.
ready for this? Okay, here we go.
Pins and needles. Pins and needles. Yeah. There you are.
So there's Sage dancing on the stripper pole as Hot Kermit.
Is that a tattoo on the back there? You got a little tattoo on your...
Yeah, it's a glowing tramp stamp. It glows.
Oh, there's not... You guys do not have a well-attended strip club.
For our audio listeners only, Sage, could you describe in detail what's going on here in this
Yes,
video,
Sage,
just so
please.
we can paint a picture?
Please.
for folks?
So the setting is it's a wood paneled stage in a empty strip club. The lights are kind of a pinkish red hue, and
It's
approaching
completely
the pole
empty.
is
It's completely empty.
Not
yeah,
not
it's
another
completely
soul.
empty. Yeah. Other than Drew, who occasionally passes by.
Yeah, and who sat down to watch.
Yeah. On the stage, you'll see a tall, lean Kermit with an absolute dump truck.
Yeah,
Does-
with crazy physics. Crazy physics.
Yeah, 100%. And the kind of boob physics that don't occur in nature
No.
in any capacity.
This is like Kermit's
Well,
on
and
a Big
frogs.
Johnson t-shirt. Remember the Big Johnson t-shirts? That's what Kermit is
No,
right
what the
now.
hell is a
100%.
Big Johnson t-shirt?
Dude, look up Big Johnson t-shirts later.
Okay.
Are those the ones that just like have the body on it?
They're just ridiculous, like, man, what's the nice way
That's
to
what
say
I was
it? I'll
thinking
say
they could-
rural culture, like, we love trucks and fishing and hunting, and every time we put it on a shirt, it's with just, like Jim Lee era, but grosser depictions of women.
Oh, okay.
So Kermit
Oh,
is
yeah,
also
I see.
wearing a tiny G-string, thigh-high glitter tights, with a harness on it and some, of course, like also knee-high stripper boots. But she still has like
You forgot the garter. There's a garter.
Oh yeah, the garter. Yeah, that's what it is. The garter up around the leg. But she still has the thing around Kermit's neck,
collar,
whatever that collar frill thing is.
And she's got those like gothic
It's basically-
boots with the big heels that give me anxiety when I see people wearing
It's
them.
basically the only thing that is Kermit about this is from the collar up.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
the
like you-
green skin.
And the green
green.
skin. I
I mean,
was
there's a lot
also
of the similar
dressed-
kind of vibe. There's just like a similar charisma.
I was also. We were both that Kermit, by the way.
Yes.
Elliot sent over in the chat a Big Johnson
Just the
example
group text.
in the brain trust.
In the brain trust.
Oh, in Brain
Anyway.
Trust. Okay, I'll check it out.
They're ridiculous, and they were everywhere. I just remember seeing them everywhere growing up in Montana.
Yeah, I didn't know they had a name. That's very informative.
Now you know.
So you danced around and then that was it. You guys, did you meet anybody?
Yeah, I mean, you always run into people, and it's always strange, and it's never normal,
No.
ever.
Is this how we get you two to play VR with us?
I mean, they both
Yeah,
have
I mean,
VR
you're selling it.
headsets.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
I
I've done that before. It's
Mine's back
fun.
in charge, so
We've
I'm
gotta do-
I'm ready.
A Valleyfolk tries VR chat.
I would
We
love
get
that.
SAIGE in there as our special guest to show us around like the VR world, essentially.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I've been there before. So Elliot, I would love to be there on your maiden voyage
too,
because I
man.
think your mind would be blown.
Great,
It's
I'm
so
down.
ridiculous.
Let's make content out of it.
As someone who got to see Elliot's face the first time he watched Cats, I feel like we'd have a very similar experience.
Yeah. Yeah. That that was a rough
The
one.
only thing is like if we do this, we're gonna have to do some very careful censoring
Yes. Yeah.
of audio and video.
Yeah.
But the gold will come out of something like that. Like that would be an amazing thing for us to do, I think.
Yeah, you just gotta make little challenges out of it. We did it back when I was at
We
Smosh.
did it back
when I was at Smosh. Yeah, you just make little challenges and you just go for it and have fun.
Yeah.
It's great. It's good stuff.
But yeah,
that.
Sage and I, we kind of like, we'll jump into VR chat every once in a while because it's like fun to hang out in there.
Yes.
Like you're hanging out with your friends in these like weird worlds. And then there's fun shit to do. Like, remember one time we found this world where you could Spider-Man everywhere? You could like...
Yeah, it had like a giant jungle gym essentially, and you had grappling hook guns,
Yeah.
and you could just swing
Whoa,
to things
cool.
and punch my microphone.
Not
Sorry, I'll-
quite
terrible
Ready
noise.
Player One. I'm telling
It really
you.
is. No, it really is.
But it was
It's
like
just
VR
hornier,
Spider-Man.
somehow.
Like, imagine VR Spider-Man swinging through buildings
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That's
I think I'd hit something in my living room. I think that would take some time to get used to.
you get used
Yeah,
to
that's
the
fair.
boundary once you set
Do
it
you
up.
meet?
Yeah.
Is it open source? Like you'll meet strangers, or is
yeah.
it like
Yes.
your friends? Or wow.
Oh, it's
wow.
completely public. It's
And you know how like the internet is like, oh, it's anonymous and I'm hiding behind a name, like a screen
Yeah.
name, and I'll say and do whatever I want, but it's text form. They do it with their voices.
Yeah.
dude, it's so crazy.
I don't
like,
know. That
laugh-
seems like I'd get my feelings hurt really quickly somehow, even though
when-
I'm on
oh,
VR.
dude, people are like aggressive too.
Yeah,
like,
people
some
are
people
wild.
get
Oh.
crazy aggressive. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. Like, you
Oh, yeah.
shouldn't be in this. Like, you.
It's like
If
there's
you
dark
clearly are an
corners.
unwell individual that needs like social, like real life world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about I think about being a teenager and playing video games, like playing Call of Duty on voice chat in like
Right.
early high school, and like the kind of things that like middle school, high school boys would say on there.
Yeah.
But like, it's just the same thing, but
It's
with
like
the
that, but-
opportunity to troll you more.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and they
They hear
Way
it.
worse.
and it's and it's like, but it's somehow worse than like even like when you're playing online shooting games.
Really selling it here.
I think it sets the tone of
Well, but
like
that's the
It sounds
thing.
like a
fucky
horrible
here,
experience.
Get fucky. Like everyone's getting fucky here. You know what I mean? It sets
Yeah.
a tone of like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a like tits out Kermit and I'm gonna run around and say very offensive things to strangers. It really does set a tone for that.
Yeah, and also like
We do not.
You can leave. You can leave the area that those people are
Yeah.
in, and most of the time they won't follow you.
You can mute people, you can block.
You can mute
they can
people, you
follow
can
you.
block them, you can run away. You can go to a private room with your friends. You can kind of control.
You can seek shelter.
You can
basically.
control the narrative. You
Yeah.
can basically control any aspect of the game.
But that's where a fun like gamification happens,
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, we're playing the game where you just have to go in and get 10 compliments, and like that's the game.
Dude, I like
Wow.
you could go in there and just like be a character, and everyone will be like, here's this character, and they just accept you as this character. It's really like it's very strange.
It's very
See
weird.
that part sounds fun though. The anonymity and being like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it in like I'm gonna go yell at people way, but
No.
the Kermit thing is wonderful. I'm
mean, it's just-
interested.
it's
scared.
It's just like if you think you'd have fun being in a ridiculous 3D immersive environment where anything can happen, then like you should try it, because that's what it is.
It's very interesting, the anonymity part of it, right? Like, because I'm thinking about how I play games, and essentially it's a game, but it's a game meets a little bit too close to reality in a weird fever dream of an existence.
Yes.
Yes.
And you're talking about like you have this skin so you can say and do anything you want, and I'm thinking about how I am, and I don't like I could be embodying a character and I still probably couldn't say the things, and I'd have a hard time not feeling embarrassment
Yeah, I
and
know.
being and doing something I'm not, and that's because this is again it's too close to me being me.
You know how to
and
you know how to do character work though. Like if you thought about it as like a long form improv that you were doing, where you're like having a British accent and walking
Yeah.
around and just being a
course.
goofy dude.
Yeah,
Of
but I
course.
see where that's totally different than being like, I wouldn't normally say this offensive thing, and because I'm
Yeah.
that's like
Right.
That's a
That
that's
implies
children
that you
doing
want to
that.
say that
Right,
in some way, which is
exactly.
weird.
It's like
but
every
it-
time somebody gets called out for saying something on the internet that they like accidentally said on Twitch while they were gaming, it's like it was in your vocabulary.
Right.
Yeah.
it's connecting to my gaming experience in my mind though, and I want to know how you guys feel about this, because I'm thinking like when I play RPGs or very like choice based narrative in a gaming experience where it's like I could either kill this person and take all their stuff, or do the more noble version and be kind to them and befriend
Oh,
them.
dude, this
and
is
make
why
sure
I can't play Among Us.
Never,
Or
I
why I'm
never
not good at
choose
Among Us.
the evil portion. Do you guys find that? Like I'm always trying to chase the path of good in fake video
Even if
games.
it doesn't
It's
matter.
weird.
Yeah. Even if there's literally zero consequences other than your own personal feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time. I mean, I will forever not be able to live down the first time I played Fallout 4 on Twitch. I was in one of the first battles and I was punching mole rats because that was the thing and I didn't have a weapon yet. And dog meat, the dog that you have, your companion in the game, jumped up and I accidentally punched my dog companion. And I had to pause the game because I cried. Like I lost it. I was so not okay. And for the rest of my life, people will have seen that vulnerability on the internet and tell me that I punched dogs because of it. It's the worst when I go somewhere new. I remember the first couple Smosh videos I did, people would come into the chat and be like, Sage punches dogs. And I'm like, hey, no, wait, hold on, guys.
Not here, guys. Not at my new thing. This is like my new thing. Let's not
This is
not
like,
on the first
Maybe
day.
don't tell my employers that I punch dogs. Thank you very much. That's not true. There's context to this. That's like real
Later
fun
on,
for us.
someone's like, "Hey, Sage, like, great job today. Just I have to ask, what's this punching dogs thing? What's
Sage, have you ever been recognized on the street and as they pass and they have a dog, they sort of grab their dog and sort of hold them away from you?
Not yet, but I worry for when the
Like,
world
no.
reopens.
No, I mean, like, it's hard when there's video games where like you have to hurt a dog. Like it's
can't.
so hard. It's like The Last of Us 2 had a thing where you had to hurt dogs, and it was miserable every time.
No, I tend to tap out of those games. Like I can't play Red Dead Redemption because it requires too much just like animal cruelty to like
Yeah.
survive and get through.
Yeah.
The Last of Us, I did a 12-hour stream playing through The Last of Us when it dropped, and by the end of it, I was emotionally dead for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot out of me, but also like D&D sits in a different space for me because I can like completely character brain to D&D. When I'm making choices in a video game, for some reason, I take it more personally. But like, I play a lot of D&D. It's not subtle.
What if the Mario games replace the turtles with dogs?
And then you have to question why we're more okay with.
There we go.
Why are we more okay with hurting turtles than dogs?
Let's actually cut to a clip.
Hey, welcome to the ad read portion of the podcast. Thank you for listening to us thus far. Please listen through this and try the service, because you trying these services helps us, and it helps you, and it helps them. It's just a bunch of helping. And today, everybody, we're going to talk about Chime. Hot take: your bank account should work with you, not against you, is what the copy says. And what that means, everybody, is that when you put your money into a banking institution, it should be making money for you, not taking money from you without you knowing, because of things like fine print. And we like fine things in this world, but fine print is not one of them. That's more of an oxymoron. All right, we need a bank that works with us to help save our money and make our money grow. And Chime is an award-winning app and debit card with no hidden fees or monthly minimums, everybody. You earned your money. You deserve to keep it. Chime has a bunch of cool stuff. I'm going to talk about them here because this is the part of the copy where it says, get everybody excited about Chime. And we can do that because they've got things like fee-free overdraft on up to $100 in debit purchases with SpotMe. It's like overdraft protection, but better. It's like your finances are surrounded by the Avengers, but the one that cares about money the most is helping you. So I guess that's Iron Man. Iron Man's here. Get your paycheck, benefits, stimulus check, and tax return up to 2 days earlier with direct deposit. Time is money, everybody, and if you can save some time in getting your money, that's like double money in my book. So take that to the Chime bank and cash it. There's no hidden fees or monthly minimums. Plus, 38,000 fee-free ATMs with MoneyPass and Visa Plus Alliance. That's really cool. And also, hey, check this out. Security. Turn on alerts to let you know when your card is used and instantly block your card if something seems fishy, which is important because my cards have been used by nefarious people before, and it's a hell to deal with. You're like, I didn't go to Italy right now. Why am I spending money in Italy right now? And then you got to call your bank, and you got to wait for them to verify if they're wrong, and then they take forever to shut down the system. And in doing that, you're filling your anxiety bank with a lot more anxiety because you don't know how much of your money is being spent in Italy. If you have the power in your hands to just turn it off right away, bam, that's heaven. Also, save on autopilot when you sign up for a Chime spending account. You can enroll in an optional savings account and grow your savings automatically with 0.5% annual percentage yield. That is 10 times the national average. And how often are you allowed to have 10 times more than the thing of something that other people get? You know, they get that, but you get 10 times more than that. That's great. And just so you know, you have to get the Chime spending account. That's the required part. Savings account is optional. And yeah, you should do it. Join the millions on Chime. Sign up takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. That's another bonus. Apply now at chime.com/Valleycast. That's chime.com/Valleycast. And this is the part that is really fun. Check this out. Chime is a financial technology company. Banking services provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. Eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Overdraft only applies to debit card purchases. Limits start at $20 and may be increased up to $100 by Chime. Early direct deposit depends on the payer. Out-of-network cash withdrawal fees apply. Third-party and cash deposit fees may apply. Go to chime.com/thevalleycast for details. All right, back to the show. That's Kermit. That's Kermit dancing again for all of you that are on the audio. And they are not speaking in any type of hyperbole when they say that those physics are there. They are there.
They are there.
Those physics are certainly present. And man, it's weird when you actually take yourself out of the moment and realize what you're looking at.
Yep.
Terrific. Truly.
It's
not
hard
normal.
how quick you accept it. It's
Yeah.
the brain is like, okay.
Yeah.
We felt like last night I was in there before like everyone got in to play, and I was just in this like room, this place, and it was silent. And then all of a sudden from like the distance, I could hear a human person going, oh, 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 ah, 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 ah. And I was just like, yeah,
I'm here.
I'm in VR chat.
Welcome. I'd
Dude,
never do it alone.
There was a guy, like, I remember we were like at a pool table and we were trying to play pool. And at one point, someone who was dressed like Kermit, just regular Kermit, he started to come out of the pool table and he came like up to my face and said, hey man, I'll suck your pee-pee. Like, it was like, all right,
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
But first, 3-ball corner pocket.
I mean, it's just bonkers, man. It's really bonkers.
Circling back to role-playing games, Elliot, Joe, do you play like tabletop RPGs or like D&D at all?
I have played D&D once. I think it was with Trisha. It's not that I wouldn't, and it's not that I don't enjoy them. I just don't frequent the friend groups that do.
You guys played Munchkin,
Same.
which is kind of like D&D light.
Munchkin's great.
It's intro, yeah. It's like me D&D light. What about you, Elliot?
I like all of them, but I don't know how to play any of them. They all seem cool.
Have you never
but I'm
played
like,
D&D?
Well, here's
no,
a
I've
piece
never
of
played
trivia
it.
for
I'm
you.
very intrigued by it, but
Can I invite you to your
don't know
first
the
D&D
rules and I
game?
don't understand it.
Did you know?
Will you come and be in your first D&D game with me?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, dude.
Please. I
Yeah.
truly would love to play it because it seems like a subculture that I know really nothing about. But
Can we guess? Let's just say it's like, I guess, medieval realm D&D type of scenario that we're playing in.
Okay.
What do we think Elliot would choose as his avatar?
Ooh, like what kind of character would he build?
What character, what class, what job, what skills? What do we think he would be?
I mean, that's not something you could just decide. You know, like you gotta really it's got to be based on what you want inside you, right?
I have guesses.
Let's have your guesses.
yeah,
When
please.
I say I'm a big D&D nerd, I mean there are like stacks upon stacks of D&D accessories currently
That she
surrounding me.
stole from people
By
that
the
she
way,
murdered.
Yes.
Did you know, Sage, that Joe and Elliot were supposed to be in the Cats RPG, but they couldn't do it. They were busy. They were like,
Yeah, what happened?
you
I
guys
was
just
gone.
both. It was a scheduling conflict. You guys just couldn't do it. But
Broke my heart.
But that could have been like
That could have
their
been.
first RPG.
That would have been a hell of an intro.
It would have been
Well,
a
it
hell
would've
of
been
a.
We'll
Elliot's
find something to
first
match it.
RPG.
But we've been trying to think of a way to get Elliot to do something like that. And Sage, if you could take his hand into the D&D world,
That's my whole thing.
yeah.
I, as somebody who like makes, I would say 50% of the content that I make is tabletop content and D&D content. My favorite thing is introducing new players, particularly people who are already that are like improvisers and performers in some capacity, and like kind of breaking down that barrier of the game rules, because the game rules don't fucking matter and they never mattered, and that's
That's
the
what I've
secret.
gathered.
That's
They
the thing about the
literally never
rules. They're
mattered.
there to break. They're there to break.
They literally never mattered, and you don't have to know any of them. You just have to improvise, and then the person who's leading the game will tell you like,
Yeah,
okay,
if you've
roll
got
a
a good
dice for that.
DM, then
You
it's
need
even
got to
better.
have a dungeon master that takes it seriously, but doesn't take it seriously.
That
You know what I mean?
Kaylee Bray. Can I give her a
Interesting.
shout out?
We can I'm always down to give Kaylee a shout
dude,
out. We love her.
Kaylee was our DM, GM,
Mhm.
awesome lady on the Cats RPG,
Yes,
which is on the Valleyfolk channel, by the way. If you guys never seen it, it's there.
it's so good.
But she's
and-
incredible, and if you're a good fucking DM like she is, then they roll with the punches, and
Yeah.
if you could throw whatever the hell you want at them, and they're usually very open to being like, if you don't know shit about D&D, like we are here to take your hand. We're here to make this easier on you. And that's what
my
it
whole
is.
thing. And Steve got to play again with us recently. Steve came and guested on our Disney Princess D&D show.
That's fun.
Tell them what it's
And it was
called. I like
wonderful.
it.
It's
a
called
good name.
Damsels, Dice, and Everything Nice.
Oh, it's a lovely name. Yeah.
And Sage plays Princess Leia. It's like all
I
the Disney
do.
princesses on an RPG journey.
Who are you, Steve?
I was Bing Bong from Pixar's Inside Out.
And he was great. It was
Yeah.
wonderful. He had props and shit.
Yeah, I could cry candy, and I had like the hat, and like I don't know. We Disney bound a little bit. We did a little
Yeah.
Disney bounding.
We do a light dress up, but like,
okay, what do we think Elliot is? What is
Okay.
Elliot? What is Elliot?
so
Because I have my guesses too, but you go first.
I think that you would build. I don't know why, but the first thing that came to mind was you building a monk, which is very strange, but that's what came to mind for
I'll
you,
take it.
Elliot.
It's a good call.
I
Is
like
he a
monk.
monk? Is he a monk fighter? Like, does he martial arts monk?
Yeah. So like the play style of monks typically are like you punch and you punch a bunch of times.
Yeah, I love that.
You punch,
Punch a monk.
bunch.
Monk-a-punch. My
Yeah.
favorite cereal is
Monk
Monk-a-punch.
As opposed to having to like do spells and stuff like that.
Sure.
That would be my guess.
Elliot could just be Link. Wouldn't you you'd kill a Link?
Yeah, I would
Like
do a Link.
Zelda Link?
Yeah. Because I was initially thinking maybe elf archer.
Okay.
Oh,
He's
that's
an elf
nice.
archer with like maybe some
Yeah.
thief
That's a
abilities.
little Link. Little Link.
Oh, I'm getting
roguey.
excited already.
Because I was thinking maybe also wizard, but wizards can be so complicated. But then I was like, maybe Elliot just makes it really easy, and he goes super masculine, and he's just this bruiser of a warrior. He's got
He's
like
a barbarian.
He's got a codpiece.
Hey.
He's got that's it.
Hey,
he's got a big old axe, and he's just slamming through everything.
You know what else? You guys know what else Elliot could be? Somebody fucking cool for once.
What?
I like that one too.
Elliot punched me. Elliot
Here
punched
is my.
me.
Oh no.
Did you?
Nasty, no.
Elliot,
I gave you the monk punch.
Elliot
It's weird
punched
that it
me.
changes your eye color.
Thank you. I think I might keep it.
I think Sage might have nailed it. The monk. That's great.
That would be
So
rad.
here's my
good. I like
official
Archer.
pitch. My official pitch is a Valleyfolk D&D game, but everyone builds the closest thing they can to their actual self.
Well,
Completely removes all of the escapism.
Yeah.
Completely removes all of the escapism from D&D. Joe has to build Joe to the best of his ability in Dungeons and Dragons, or who you would be at least
Use
if you had access to all
character
of these
profiles of D&D.
I love those. The best part about knowing D&D is being able to theorize like what class a Scooby-Doo character would be, or like anime people.
Yeah. Because Scooby.
So do you just say these things when you're playing? Like you don't have. I know so little
No,
about
please
it. But like,
ask any questions.
you have pieces that you like, or you just say like you have dice. I know that.
Yeah.
And then you just see who's going up against each other, and then you make
Yeah.
your journey through a.
It's so sweet. It's
So what's
genuinely
what's
sweet.
the purpose of the overall game?
So role playing is when you pretend.
So there are a bunch of
that I
different ways
got.
people go
That
about
one's
it.
but truly that's all I got.
Sometimes for an in-person game, people will use like terrain and minis. Or like virtually, there are like virtual tabletop versions. So like, let's say you're in a dungeon, just standard, typical. There are like virtual maps, so you can like get an idea of where you would be in it. But if you're not using any of those things, that's referred to as theater of the mind. So it'll be like, all right, you enter into a dungeon. The dungeon has 3 different corridors that you can go down. To the left, there's a cold breeze. Down the center, you can see a flickering of light, and to the right, it's completely dark. And your party would be like, okay, I think we should go to the right. Right.
But you're making the dungeon master's making this up.
Yeah. Sometimes,
game-
depending on like who the dungeon master is, some of them like really pre-prepare things, and some of them completely improvise it.
Gotcha.
It's just it's an improv
Cool.
exercise for everybody. And then it would be like, okay, you see an enemy down there, right? They describe them to you, and you could be like, okay, I wanna shoot an arrow at it, and then you would roll to see if you succeed at shooting the arrow.
I see.
And then you would like, if you choose to, be like, okay, great. I shoot it through his eyeball. I want it to go straight through to the wall behind him, right? So you would like describe it then.
Fun. Okay.
It's like
I'm in. I'm
writing a
sold.
book in real time with your friends
Yes.
with the element of chance. And dude, some people will be like, this campaign, this one that we're doing is gonna last 7 months, and we're gonna get together once a week, and they just do the story that long.
Yeah.
Or
I've
you
done
can
campaigns
sit,
for years.
yeah, or you can sit down and be like, okay, we're gonna do a campaign tonight. We're gonna
Yeah,
drink
you can do
beer,
a
and
one
we're gonna
shot.
have a campaign. But people like,
Wow.
yeah, really get immersed into it.
It's
Yeah.
gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
I
Yeah,
love
please,
this.
I'm down. I'm ready.
Now we just need to make you accountable for it. We'll hold you to this.
Steve, you know it. You
Do
know
you
I
Sage,
will do
what's-
this.
What's your go-to, Sage? What's your go-to character? Like, if you're just like, oh, I have to choose right now, this is what I'm gonna usually do.
I like the class druids. Druids are able to shapeshift into animals at any point, and there
That's
are a bunch
just
of
fun.
different kinds of them. So like you get to choose where your magic comes from, and they're like, you know, watery or fiery, or like you choose like an element to connect with. It makes me feel like a character out of Avatar: The Last Airbender a little bit.
Yeah, give me those earthbenders, baby.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Elliot
Big
played
Avatar
the. Remember we did that like text D&D thing? Oh, you know that website? Where you
AI Dungeon?
AI Dungeon.
Yeah.
Oh, I love AI
We
Dungeon.
did AI Dungeon once.
Oh, AI Dungeon's so good.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an intro to D&D for you there, Elliot. So like you're not.
I feel like it's it's so seeped into the culture that I'm in that I will pick up on it, but it does seem so freeform that it's intimidating. Like it seems like like you're saying.
I agree, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It depends on who you play with, and just like you can't go wrong, and that's kind of the best part of it.
Right.
You really can't do anything wrong. I mean, I guess in the worst case scenario, your character dies, but like that'd be really mean of a DM to do to you.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've actually never played a D&D game where like you can die.
Yeah. I mean, look, lots of them will do it. Like I play in a weekly game on my channel on Friday nights, and like one of our characters just died.
Yeah.
Because like, why not?
We didn't like them.
Right.
I remember.
No, we love her.
Remember we did that murder mystery thing, and I died like right away.
You chose to.
I chose to. Yeah.
I hosted a virtual murder mystery party for Halloween on my other channel, Pixel Circus, and I invited a bunch of friends in to do like a virtual version of like murder mystery dinner theater kind of thing, and it was like there were like 17 of us on the stream at the same time, and I know Steve well enough to know that low commitment is ideal.
Especially if it's something where you're like, it could go for 4 hours.
Right. It was a 3-hour stream.
Yeah.
And I was like, Steve, someone has to be the first person to die to like kick off the night. That was the only planned death of the evening.
Yeah.
And I was like, Steve, you trying to get killed first? And he was like, absolutely.
Yeah, if I could pop in and pop out and that's helpful, then call me. I'm there. For real. Yeah, that was a really fun one. I like that. But Sage really introduced me kind of more to the RPG world also, with like cats and then all the things she's invited me to that I've guested on here and there. And it's really awesome. It's like it's a lot of fun. It's just, it's a fucking game. If you like game,
Oh yeah.
You'll love it.
It's so funny because it's like everybody's doing it in their life in one way or another, and it's been so closely connected negatively to like nerd culture back in the 90s, and now it's more accepted. But like fantasy football is sports D&D.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you
that's
putting on
it.
a jersey and cosplaying as your favorite character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's just truth.
The similarities are more similar than you think. And with that, I want to say, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, it was great. It was good.
Love it.
Sage, what a goddamn son of a bitch treat it was to have you here.
That's another item from that food menu.
A goddamn son of a bitch treat.
Also one of the quotes from that rip-off Mario game.
100% Toad gets on and goes, what a goddamn son of a bitch treat.
But Sage, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to appear on this old thing, the Valleycast.
Happy to be here. Love to.
Please plug all the things that you would like to plug at this exact moment. Go.
Oh, God. Okay. I go by Not Sage everywhere on the internet. I'm a streamer. I play games and chat. We focus on just kind of spending time with the community. I have the channel that I referenced earlier called Pixel Circus, where we make shows about gaming and nerd shit. No
circuses.
No circuses. None whatsoever.
No circus eye.
We talk about games and we play games. And then I also pop up on Smosh Games, usually at least once a week. I'm around. I'm on the official D&D YouTube and Twitch channel now for a thing called the Black Dice Society. That's really cool. It's a horror RPG game. Everything that I described to you tonight about D&D being like fun and lighthearted and no consequences is the exact opposite of that show.
Whoa, this is serious
everything
and
is
scary.
Horrifying, and the consequences are massive. And
I'd like to start with that one.
You got it, Elliot.
You heard the man.
All right.
Sage, you should try sleep.
Yeah.
Not quite for this me time.
Give it a couple years. You'll get there.
This
You'll
episode
like
of the
it.
Valleycast brought to you by Sleep.
Who's
Someday.
from who? Who's providing?
You can use our
guys,
promo code, and then maybe you could get some.
Thanks for listening. Please go check out bit.ly.com/movie-movie-game and share that with your friends and family, because that's another game, one that we made.
Yeah.
We made a game. And pre-orders are still open, closing soon. And yeah, I'm finishing up filming another episode today. And that'll come out soon. And it's got a fun twist.
Oh, no.
And there's Kermit. There's back. There's Kermit.
Yep, that's me.
For our audio listeners, Joe, could you just describe what's happening on the stage real fast as an outro?
We have got an elongated Kermit the Frog body with curves, scantily clad. This specific Kermit decided to color, make sure the colors were all the same, white. We have the neck. What is that? A collar?
A collar.
Kermit's classic white collar on there, flanked by some scantily bosom holders. Scant, I suppose you'd say, bosom holders, going down to a really, really, really minimalistic white thong, which is right above some very, very long legs that are covered mostly by white stockings and some very, very high boots with high heels as well. Like I said before, I'm getting a little bit of anxiety from it, not because of the sexual nature, but because I'm really worried for Kermit's ankles. So that's where we're at.
And Kermit's spinning on a stripper pole.
Kind of.
Forgot that part.
Kind
The
of.
important part.
I mean, honestly, I wanted to say that Sage did a great job, because she's putting her actual real life hand out as if to hold the pole, but knowing where it is and then being able to spin around that in VR chat is very difficult. So great job, Sage.
Good job.
Great job, Sage.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to / watching the Valleycast. If you want to see the video, obviously, go to youtube.com/the Valleyfolk. You'll be able to check out this video there on the channel. Thank you.
Oh, and today, after this recording, Steve will make your video live. Well,
yeah.
Your new show.
This
Your
You.
new show.
Hey, This You with Anna Laurie and myself. We look at TikTok videos sometimes, and we go, hey, this you? And it's and then we have some fun with it. And it's great because you get to see the weird TikToks that show up in my algorithm, which is absolutely bonkers now. So
Yeah. They live stream it on Twitch, and then we do a cut down on YouTube, and we're posting that on YouTube right now.
yes.
Yay!
All right. Well, thank you, Sage, for coming.
Thank you, Sage.
you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.